December 31st, it's New Year's Eve. People are going to be out partying and celebrating, ushering in the new year. I'm actually just about to head out. Our family's going to do that with some friends as well. But it's more than just the end of the year. This is the end of a decade. If you can believe it, tomorrow is 2020. And because of that, a lot of people are reflecting not just on the year that's passed, but on the decade past. I had a bit of time to do that this afternoon. I looked through my phone, through some of the photos of the past 10 years with our family, and it was remarkable to look at everything that has changed. So much has changed around us. In the past 10 years, we adopted our son, we adopted our dog, we started a church, we planted another one. About 10 years ago, we began a vegetarian diet, and we stuck with it. But more than just things around us, things have changed in us. We think very differently about ourselves and what it means to be family. We think very differently about each other and what it means to be human. We think very differently about the divine. Because in the past 10 years, people have come into our world, they have introduced us to new ways of thinking, new stories to listen to, and in that we have encountered God in new ways. Jesus has continued to walk with us. The Spirit has continued to shape us. We have been, in the classical language of the Christian story, sanctified, discipled, transformed into the likeness of Christ, and it's beautiful. But in looking back, I'm reminded of two important things when it comes to looking forward. The first is the importance of humility. I have changed so much in the last 10 years. I think very differently than I did 10 years ago, and all of that is profound and it's beautiful, but what that means is that the way that I think today will probably not be how I think 10 years from now. I mean, unless things stop, unless I stop growing, I'm going to continue to change, and I want that to happen. But it means I need to have some humility in who I am right now in this moment. Because I want to live with conviction. I want to hold those convictions with purpose. I want to live with passion, but I need to do that open-handed, knowing that I still have a lot to learn, knowing that I will continue to grow and learn as things evolve, and that's okay. And this reminds me of a second thing, that I need to live with grace. Not just grace for the people around me, and not just grace for the communities that I participate in, but grace for myself. Because there are things right now in me that I don't notice, blind spots that I'm going to become aware of and I'm going to need to change. There are mistakes that I'm making in relationships right now, and at some point in the future, I'm going to have the opportunity to make those things right. But if I don't have grace for myself, it's going to be easy to get disheartened and disenchanted, to think that I'm not worth the effort it takes to continue to keep working on. And this becomes really important for all of us when we begin to set our goals, our New Year's resolutions, what we want to accomplish in the coming year and in the coming decade. That we hold our convictions open-handed with humility, knowing that things are going to continue to change. But because of that, we need to hold grace for ourselves. That when we mess up, there's always an opportunity for us to make things right if we're humble enough. To know that there are things right now that we have wrong, but in the grace of God, we are going to have opportunity to continue to learn. And when we have grace for ourselves, when we recognize that we're not perfect, but that God loves us right now, here in this present moment, with all of our flaws and foibles, all of our blind spots that we can't even see right now, then we begin to have grace for all of the people around us, for their stories, the way that they are becoming, the way that we are being knit together into communities so that we can help each other continue that journey onward. You are not the same person you were 10 years ago. You are not the person that you will be 10 years from now. And all of that is the goodness, the graciousness, the discipleship of God that continues to transform you into the likeness of Christ. So look back. Look at all the things that you were, laugh a little bit, maybe even be a bit embarrassed, but recognize that as the graciousness of God that has walked with you and in you, the Spirit that has continued to shape you, and that will continue to follow that journey with you as long as you breathe in this world.